It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
Back here on the Coach's Show, and brought to you by this segment with Oakland basketball, Sir Pizza, whose 3 Murfreesboro locations offer a huge selection of mouth-watering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and wings. I said pizza, right? Yeah, of course. Order your favorite online at sirpizzatn.com. Scott Thomas joins us this morning talking Oakland girls basketball, and a lot of the coaches have been in the gym this morning, and I'm sure you are the same, Coach Thomas, right?
Yes, sir. Watching my son over here at Hopgood Little City League basketball this morning. So.
Oh, how about that?
Yep.
Things going well in that game?
Yep, they're up 25-14 right now. 30 seconds left, so
good.
They'll finish it out.
I'm sure by the time you do that and you're in the gym with your team and all, you see lots of basketball. One thing John said during our broadcast the other night that it just popped into my mind to ask you about.
Yep.
He said, you can look over at Scott Thomas, and it doesn't matter if he's up 20 or he's down 2 with the ball and 4 seconds left. You have the same demeanor. That's hard to do for a coach. How do you do that?
I don't know. You know, everybody's kind of always brought that up with me that, you know, I got a good poker face, but, you know, I probably don't show it as much as I feel it. You know, a lot of times, you know, I think it may look like I'm not stressed out or showing much emotion, but I think on the inside sometimes it's a little different.
Oh, I can imagine that it is. But to me, what that has done for your girls is they don't necessarily play tight, you know, because of that kind of situation. Right. You see some teams that do. They get a little tighter or they get more intense, but
yeah.
With your even keel, it kind of takes that pressure away from the girls, it seems.
Yeah, I think, you know, been doing this a long time, and, you know, I think if the players can sense that you're uptight, it's going to make them uptight. And so I think just, you know, finding a good balance and, you know, letting them know, you know, that their coach is you know, good, whether we're up big or down a little bit. And, you know, I think that they feed off of that. And, you know, so I'll try to keep that in mind throughout the game. And, you know, at halftime, you know, they probably see a little more emotion out of me at times. But, you know, definitely during games, I think it's important to, you know, to have that balance as the game's going.
Yeah. Just wanted to talk about the last few games of the regular season, and I was just talking to Shanice Kaysen at Laverne, and her team, you know, is kind of riding that upward trajectory. You had a very close contest with them. They had a close game with Blackman, and you know, playing pretty well right now. You know, there's a thing to be said about peaking too early, and where do you think that you are on that bell curve right now? Are you peaking at the time you want to peak here going into the district tournament play?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, you watch our last few game films. You know, I think we're starting to play more as a team. I think our kids are getting excited for each other when we do something well. You know, I think our bench has had good energy on the bench. You know, so I don't think we're shooting the ball where we need to right now. You know, especially from outside, but you know, I think as far as, you know, not playing selfish, playing as a team and, you know, playing with confidence to win games is one thing that we're doing pretty well right now. And, you know, I kind of just been telling them, you know, at this point in the year, you know, everybody's kind of back to 0-0 and, you know, everything we've done, good or bad up to this point, you know, really doesn't have a factor on you know what we do going forward. So you know we're trying to build on the positives from each game, and get better at the stuff that we need to work on.
And you go through the regular season. You play a pretty grueling schedule. Got that 10th win over a Smyrna team, which gave you a lot. I know they didn't have their best player probably on the floor that night, but still, we did that game on the air, and you did have some, especially first half struggles from the field, shooting the ball, especially around the arc, but things came around in the second half, and you made some adjustments against another team that you could possibly face in region play.
Yeah, for sure. There's not a game where, on our schedule this year where we've just walked into it knowing for sure that we're going to come out with a win. Even today with Siegel, both times we played them, it's been, great games all the way up to the fourth quarter. And, Coach Weekly's doing a great job with them. So I know they're going to be ready to play today. So we just gotta continue to shoot the ball with confidence and not get too down when we're maybe not making them, and just focus on the next shot, next play mentality.
We have Scott Thomas joining us this morning talking Oakland girls basketball. The last time you played Siegel, it was a 47-35 victory. In fact, Coach, you finished 4-2 in district play, and those two losses were to the team that finished number one in Rockvale. I think you were able to put a little separation between yourself and the other teams in the district, which is not a ton with just 4 teams in the district. But that's kind of where you wanted to be and set yourself up, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, our goal coming in was finishing one of those top 2 spots. And our goals really kind of set more for this tournament, because, this time of the year, it really just sets you up. Of course, district's going to set you up for where you're going to seed in region and so forth. And, got a chance to, maybe host the first round region game, which I think is huge. So, for our lone senior, trying to get her another home game, I think our girls are really going to try to get that done for her. But, we know there is no easy games here going forward. So, I mean, we gotta be ready to play and compete every time we step out.
This is the first time that there has not been at least a game, an elimination game in a district tournament in this league that I can remember. So all 4 teams are going to continue to play. We're just kind of really playing this tournament to seed out the region. And I know that there was some discussion on whether to have a district tournament or not to have a district tournament. Some in the same boat decided not to, like Williamson County, Rutherford County decided to do that. Your thoughts on playing this district tournament?
I mean, I don't really have the right answer, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't know that there is a right answer.
Yeah. I'm kind of just a go with the flow kind of guy. And, if they decide not to do it, I think it puts a little more pressure on the regular season. And, if they keep it how it is, and, it kind of gives you room. If, you don't show up for a district game, then, you kind of get a chance to make up for that in a district tournament. So, yeah, so I mean,
at least that gives you a chance to do something differently than what happened in the regular season, I guess.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you got a chance to maybe beat somebody that beats you or whatnot. But we're just gonna do what they tell us, and we're going to just give it our best with however it's going to be going forward.
I did understand that. There's not necessarily an all-district team, but there's kind of going to be an all-region. I really like that idea. I think that is a superb way to do it, especially since it's all Rutherford County, Yeah.
Yeah. We met Tuesday, and, we voted for all-region team. And so, I think it helps the players understand, that they got to show up and play for all these district and region games if one of their goals is to get recognized as all region players. So, we got a lot of good players in the county, and I think it's a good recognition if, the coaches vote for your kids to be on that team, because there's 15 or 16 that they pick from. So it's I think it's a pretty good honor if you make that list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was a really grand idea to do it that way, and it makes it a very special honor. Well, I know you're playing the Siegel girls for the third time this season, and that's this evening or this afternoon at 3:30 over at Siegel. And you play a team 3-4 times. Inevitably, I don't care what the score was in the first game. The second game's usually always closer, and then the third game's closer as well. So I'm sure you're going to get Siegel girls' best shot this afternoon. What do you think it takes to win that game to get to the championship game?
Yeah, anytime you play somebody 3 times, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Like you said, the scores from the first 2 times we played them, it's not really a factor. If anything, I think we've given them confidence that they have a chance to beat us, and you got their playing on their home court, which is another factor that we got to consider. And bottom line, we got to show up ready to play. I know they're going to have a plan in place, and we got a plan. And I think it's going to come down who wants it more and who executes the best.
Well, Scott, good luck this afternoon. I know we're going to see you quite a bit here during tournament play in the next few weeks, and good luck to the Oakland Lady Patriots today and in tournament play.
All right, I appreciate it, Brian.
Yeah, thank you, man. That's Scott Thomas joining us here on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Dan France Concrete. Speaking of Oakland, an Oakland grad from years ago, many years ago. He was just a year younger than me. But anyway, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.